Good morning, students. Today we have to study about balancing a chemical equation. So in this class, we will study about what is a skeletal equation. Then we will see the definition of a balanced chemical equation. And then after that, we will discuss about the need for balancing a chemical equation. Then we will see the definition of balanced chemical equation. And the last topic would be the significance of a balanced chemical equation. So let's start in detail about all this. So here you are observing a kid like you in the chemistry lab, and a balance is there in his hand, and this equation is also balanced. That is 2H2 plus O2, it forms 2H2O. It means the elements which is taking part in the reaction is hydrogen and oxygen, and on the reactant side there is hydrogen and oxygen, and on the product side there is water. There is 2 molecules of water formed, there is 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen taking part in the chemical reaction. So let's see now, what is a skeletal equation? The skeletal equation is the unbalanced equation. Okay, the skeletal equation is the unbalanced equation in which the total number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is not equal to the number of atoms of the same element on the product side. Such type of equation is known as a balanced chemical equation. Now, why we need for balancing the chemical equation? As we all know, there is law of conservation of matter. So that is why the chemical equation needs to be balanced so that it follows the law of conservation of matter. And what does this law says? This law says that matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can only change its form from one form to another. So a balanced chemical equation occurs when the number of different atoms of elements on the reactant side is equal to that of the product side. So balancing a chemical equation is a process of trial and error method, hit and trial method according to your syllabus or your standard. We will see in the next class about the balancing of chemical equation, and we will use basically the hit and trial method for balancing the chemical equation. There is also half of the equation is balanced, so that is why another methods are also there, but we will see about hit and trial method. Now, what is a balanced chemical equation? A balanced chemical equation is an equation when the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is equal to the number of atoms of that element on the product side. So let's see over here. On the reactant side there is 1 carbon atom, as well as on the product side it is also having 1 carbon atom. So the element carbon having 1 atom on the reactant side and 1 atom on the product side, so that is why carbon is balanced. Here another element taking part in this reaction is hydrogen. So how many atoms of hydrogen is there? 4. Here also you see 2 into 2. Since this 2 is in the coefficient form, so it will be multiplied by all the elements in this particular compound formula over here. Okay, like in maths you have studied. So there is 4 atoms of hydrogen on the product side also. So here also 4, here also hydrogen is 4. So hydrogen is also balanced. Now how many atoms of oxygen is there on the reactant side? That is 2 into 2, that is 4 atoms. You see, 4 atoms. On the product side also 2 and plus 2, there is 4 atoms of oxygen on the product side. So each element, that is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, is balanced, or the number of atoms of the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen is same on the reactant side as well as on the product side. Now, what is the significance of a balanced chemical equation? there are three basic significance, that is qualitative, quantitative, and standardized chemistry. So what is qualitative? A balanced chemical equation shows that which substances are taking part in a chemical reaction and what are the products formed, like. And then quantitative, it means it will show both the number and the molecule, and the number of atoms involved in a chemical reaction. And this balanced chemical equation make the process or the chemistry a standardized chemistry which will be universally accepted. So let's see an example. Here, what is the qualitative aspect? Qualitative aspect is that the elements iron, oxygen, and carbon is taking part in the reaction. Another qualitative aspect is the ferric oxide and carbon is reacting to form iron and carbon dioxide. So these two aspects are the qualitative aspect, the elements taking part, the molecule of the elements on the reactant side and on the product side. Then quantitative, iron 4 on the reactant side, 4 on the product side, oxygen also, and the carbon 3 atoms, here also 3 atoms. So this is the quantitative aspect, and this is making it universally accepted.